Karma. What it really means. Every person on earth has used the word karma. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you say karma will get them. A celebrity does something terrible, and people say that's bad karma. A good thing happens to a good person, and everyone nods and says, karma. But here's the thing. Almost everything the Western world believes about karma is wrong. The real concept, the original concept, is so much deeper, so much more complex, and so much more unsettling than what goes around comes around. Because real karma doesn't just explain why bad things happen to bad people. It explains why bad things happen to good people. It explains why some people are born into wealth and others are born into suffering. It explains why the universe doesn't owe you fairness, and why that might actually be the most liberating idea you've ever heard. By the end of this video, you'll understand karma the way Hinduism actually teaches it. Not the bumper sticker version, the real version, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. But first, there's one part of karma that almost nobody in the West knows about. A mechanism built into the system that means your actions don't just affect this life. They're shaping a life you haven't been born into yet. We'll get to that. But to understand it, we need to start at the beginning. If you're new here, Atlas of Religion breaks down every world religion with this level of depth. Subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next. The word karma comes from the Sanskrit root kri, which simply means to do or to act. At its most basic level, karma means action. That's it. Every action you take, physical, verbal, or mental, is karma. Brushing your teeth is karma. Telling a lie is karma. Even thinking about telling a lie is karma. But in Hinduism, karma is not just action. It's action plus consequence. Every action you perform generates a result, not as punishment, not as reward, but as a natural, automatic, unavoidable consequence built into the fabric of reality. The same way dropping a stone creates a ripple in water, every action you take creates a ripple in the universe. And that ripple doesn't stop when you stop watching. This is the first place the Western version falls apart. In the West, karma is treated like a cosmic justice system. You do something bad happens to you. You do something good happens to you. It's basically a scoreboard. God, or the universe, is keeping track, and eventually the balance gets settled. That's not what Hinduism teaches. Karma in Hinduism is not about justice. It's about cause and effect. It's not moral. It's mechanical. Karma doesn't care whether you think your actions are justified. Karma doesn't care about your intentions. At least not in the simplified sense the West imagines. Karma is a law of nature, as impersonal and as inescapable as gravity. You don't bargain with gravity. You don't explain to gravity that you had a good reason for jumping off the building. You hit the ground regardless. Karma works the same way. And this leads to the part that makes most Western audiences uncomfortable. In Hinduism, karma doesn't reset at death. It carries over. This is where karma and reincarnation become inseparable. The Hindu concept of the soul, the Atman, is eternal. It was never born, and it will never die. But it moves through body after body, life after life, in an endless cycle called samsara. And the force that determines where the soul goes next, what kind of body it enters, what circumstances it's born into, what suffering or prosperity it encounters, is karma. The accumulated karma of every action across every lifetime. This means that the life you're living right now is not random. According to Hindu philosophy, your current circumstances are the direct result of actions you took in lives you don't remember. And the actions you're taking right now, in this body, in this lifetime, are shaping a future life you can't yet see. This is where most people either lean in or push back, because the implications are staggering. If a child is born into poverty, Hinduism doesn't say the world is unfair. It says that soul is experiencing the consequences of karma accumulated across previous existences. If a person is born with extraordinary gifts, those gifts were earned, not in this lifetime, but across the arc of many lifetimes. This doesn't mean Hindus believe you should ignore suffering or refuse to help people. Compassion and charity are themselves karmic actions that generate positive results. But it does mean that Hinduism views suffering through a lens that most Western religions don't, as something that has a cause, even if that cause is invisible to us in this particular life. Now, here's where it gets even more layered. Hindu philosophy doesn't treat karma as one single thing. It divides karma into 3 distinct categories, and each one operates differently. The first is sanchita karma. This is the total accumulated karma from every lifetime your soul has ever lived. Think of it as a warehouse. Every action you've ever taken across every existence, good, bad, neutral, is stored in that warehouse. The vast majority of it is dormant. It's waiting. You won't experience the consequences of all of it in any single lifetime. The warehouse is too full. The second is prarabdha karma. This is the portion of your sanchita karma that has been activated for this specific lifetime. Think of it as a suitcase packed from the warehouse. When your soul enters a new body, it brings a specific set of karmic consequences with it. Your family, your health, your natural abilities, your core challenges. According to Hindu philosophy, these were not assigned to you randomly. They were selected from the warehouse of your total accumulated karma, and they define the broad parameters of your current life. This is why Hinduism says you cannot fully escape your prarabdha karma. It's already in motion. It's already been activated. You can respond to it wisely or foolishly, and that response generates new karma, but the prarabdha karma itself will play out regardless. It's the stone that's already been dropped. The ripple is already moving. The third is kriyamana karma, also called agami karma. This is the karma you are creating right now, in this moment, through the actions you take today. This is the only karma you have direct control over. And this is where Hindu philosophy places all of its emphasis, because kriyamana karma is what fills the warehouse for the future. Every choice you make today is packing the suitcase for a lifetime you haven't entered yet. If you're following this so far, hit that like button, because what comes next is the part that flips everything on its head. Here's the question that separates casual understanding from real understanding of karma. If every action generates a consequence, and every consequence generates a new action, and every new action generates another consequence, how does it ever end? How do you get off the wheel? Because that's the entire goal of Hinduism. The ultimate aim is not to accumulate good karma. It's not to build up a cosmic savings account of positive deeds so you get a better next life. The ultimate aim is to escape karma entirely, to step off the wheel of samsara and achieve moksha, liberation, the permanent release of the soul from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And this is where karma connects to the deepest layers of Hindu philosophy in ways that most people never learn. The Bhagavad Gita, the most important text in Hinduism, directly addresses this problem. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the warrior Arjuna is paralyzed. He doesn't want to fight. He knows the battle will generate enormous karma, death, destruction, grief. He asks Krishna, who is God in human form, how he can possibly act without drowning in karmic consequences. Krishna's answer is one of the most revolutionary ideas in the history of human thought. He tells Arjuna to act, but to act without attachment to the results. Perform your duty. Do what must be done, but surrender the fruits of your actions. Don't act for reward. Don't act for recognition. Don't act to avoid punishment. Act because it is your dharma, your duty, and release the outcome entirely. This concept is called Nishkama karma, desireless action, and it is the key that unlocks the entire system, Because karma only binds you when you're attached to the results. When you act out of desire, I want praise, I want money, I want to be seen. The action generates a karmic chain that ties your soul to samsara. But when you act out of pure duty, surrendering the outcome to the divine, the action passes through you like wind through an open window. It leaves no residue, it generates no chain. And slowly, lifetime by lifetime, the warehouse empties. This is why Hindu monks renounce the world. They're not running from life. They're trying to stop generating new karma so the old karma can exhaust itself and the soul can finally be free. But here's the part most people miss. Krishna doesn't tell Arjuna to stop acting. He doesn't say sit down, meditate, and wait for liberation. He says fight. Go to war. Do the hardest, most violent, most consequential thing imaginable. But do it without attachment. The path to freedom isn't inaction. It's action without ego, duty without desire, work without ownership of the results. That's karma, not a scoreboard, not a punishment system, not what goes around comes around. Karma is the fundamental law of cause and effect that governs every soul across every lifetime. And the entire architecture of Hindu spiritual practice is designed to help you transcend it. The West borrowed the word and flattened it into a meme. The original is an ocean. Now think about what this means for how you live your life, not in the Hindu sense, but in any sense. The idea that every action has a consequence that outlasts the moment. The idea that attachment to outcomes is what creates suffering. The idea that the highest form of action is doing what's right simply because it's right, with no expectation of return. Whether you believe in reincarnation or not, that framework is powerful, and it's been shaping over 1 billion lives for over 3,000 years. If this video just changed how you understand karma, or made you question how you use the word, subscribe to Atlas of Religion. We break down every world religion this clearly, and we go deep where other channels stay on the surface. Next, we're going inside the oldest rivalry in Hinduism. 2 supreme gods, 2 massive followings, 2 completely different visions of the divine, Shiva versus Vishnu, and the split that divided Hinduism for thousands of years. That video is right here. I'll see you there.